Swap both around. I had a bit of a scare with this one because I thought I bricked the BIOS from a BIOS update. But no, I did not, luckily. So now let's put the keyboard back on. And plug it in. And if I press the power button, yes! So I wonder if the BIOS has been updated, but I doubt it. So this one here, the motherboard is already up to date. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, and I will have to fix the antenna wires again because of course, as usual. It's not that bad that time. I think it was memory training, so it's boot looping, so get this protective thing on. There we go. Yeah, I had a bit of a scare from that BIOS update. I thought it bricked the motherboard, but luckily it did not. Yeah, something went wrong on their end. Sign in options. I have a feeling because the motherboard's different. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Not too surprising. Because of motherboard replacement, it freaks out Windows. Windows now has a hissy fit, as they call it. Wrong way. I had a bit of a scare there with that BIOS update thing. I had a bit of a scare. So luckily this one here is already up to date, the BIOS. So I think these BIOS were already up to date. There's like, whoops, there wasn't any actual BIOS updates for these. But I already updated the BIOS on this one. So I had a bit of a scare there. I thought it bricked the BIOS, but after resetting the BIOS, it fixed it. Now I'm going to update the BIOS on this laptop, and it should work because this has a spare battery inside, so it should actually work without issue. I think the problem with it was when there's no lithium battery in here, and when the computer shuts off to do the BIOS update, but those settings are saved. Since there's no spare battery, it can't really finish the BIOS update really. So even with the power cord connected, so. Although this Portwork motherboard is going to just be plugged into, it's just going to be plugged into my power station, so that's going to keep it on. I had a bit of a scare there because I thought I bricked the motherboard from the BIOS update. I did a video of that, but I deleted it instantly because after a BIOS reset, it fixed it. I didn't decide to do another video on it. That gave me a bit of a scare. So let me actually put my expansion cards back into the laptop. So this one's USB-A, USB-C. Now these are polarized, so if I try to put it in upside down, it doesn't go in. See? However, since these expansion cards that goes into the expansion base, since these are open sourced, anyone can make these adapters, really. But then again, you see how this USB-C was on the inside? These are really just extensions on the outside to make it much more easier. That gave me a bit of a scare, so I will need to set up the network again, the pin again. But once I set up the pin, it should be working. Yeah, that gave me quite a scare there. Now, when I plug this in, I'll have to set this one to headless mode, which is standalone mode. So I actually will plug in the keyboard first before I plug in the power. Doing the same thing here. It could just be the power cord. Oh, the light came on. There we go. Okay, that gave me a scare there, so let's power it on. It is flashing, so it's doing something. It's on. Okay. And now it's showing a lights on here that's booting up. I think it's noticing that there's no display and no battery, so that gave me quite a scare, but luckily that wasn't the case.